Hi, this is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you back to my therapy office for this very special videotape. I'm very happy that you're joining me for this and finding out a little bit more about how to interview and select a therapist. I know that getting to the point of deciding whether you want to go to therapy is a huge step. Obviously I believe in the power of therapy for someone to recover, but I also know that that's not always possible. Also, budget-wise, time-wise, there are many different ways that that we approach recovery, and therapy is a good one, of course, but also self-help groups, group therapy in general. There are a lot of different ways that we can recover, but if you're interested in interviewing and selecting a therapist, you've come to the right place. So I'm going to go through a few of the things that you're going to want to take a look at in selecting a therapist, but then also I want you to take a look at the recovery planner, because I have some questions and some forms for you so you could take to help you evaluate your therapist, and we'll get started right away. So obviously the first thing to do in interviewing and selecting a therapist is to know kind of where you are right now. What do you want to see? What does your recovery look like? What are some of the symptoms that are really bothersome for you right now? It could be on a continuum of bothersome to really intense. So it's good to know what the symptoms are and their intensity. What's really keeping you from reaching your potential and reaching your recovery. The next thing I'd like you to do is take a look at what kind of therapist that you'd like to work with. Is it male or female? Is the person of the same religion as you or the same culture? Do you find yourself opening up? Who is it? What type of person would you open up to? I thought I would open up to a female originally, way back many years ago, before I even went to graduate school. I thought I would open up most to a female, but I found that the person that I selected was actually detrimental to my recovery and placed the blame on me for the rape, which was very discouraging, set me back many years in my own recovery, until I finally found someone who was male who really became a partner in my recovery. So I'd say it's good to have a general idea of who you'd like to see, but most important is the rapport that you have with that person. You need to be comfortable. You need to be able to talk to them about anything. You need to feel that you're respected. You need to feel that your needs are being met. Those are the important things. But to start with, what does that person look like to you? What type of person would you open up to? Now, the next thing, obviously, it's a very intimidating process to look for a therapist, but it doesn't have to be. I suggest talking to 3 people, interviewing 3 people, and selecting from there. It's always a good idea to have a cross-section, and I have a number of steps in the recovery planner that I go over so that you can check them off. Okay, this person, I've done the research, now I've talked to the person. The first place, obviously, for research is on the internet. It's an excellent place to start, and I like being able to see a person's photo. I like to see if this is a person that I feel I could really communicate with. So I take you over some of the research areas that you could look at and some of the associations for referrals. And then also, at this step, you're going to pick up that phone, and I know this can be an intimidating step as well, but it doesn't need to be. If you're calling a large organization, you can be pretty confident that those people answering that phone have been trained in the types of things that you'll be calling them for. They're trained in dealing with people that have, sensitive issues, and you should be confident that you'll be treated with respect. Now, if you're calling a individual therapist, chances are you're going to get their answering machine, so you'll leave a message and they'll call you back. because they'll be in therapy with someone else. Just check about the ability to see them for about a half-hour consultation. Generally, people give this for, it's complimentary, so there is no charge. That's very helpful to see if you have a rapport. Now, in another video, I've also discussed the 4 primary categories of therapists. That's the LCSW, Licensed Clinical Social Worker, Marriage and Family Therapists, that's the psychologist and psychiatrist. So I go over that in another video, and then I tell you step by step on how to interview and select a therapist in my recovery planner. But that gives you a nice overview of what you're going to be doing after you meet with them, after your initial 30-minute consultation. I'd like you to take a moment to go to some place to have coffee and really sit down. I've got about 5 questions that I have in my recovery planner for you to kind of think about and see if this is a person that you feel you can work with. It's very important that you know that you're always in control of this situation. This person is working for you. You're not working for him. It's not that kind of situation. They're working for you. And so you're hiring them to do a job, and you must feel comfortable. You must feel confident that they're going to be able to help you. The second thing, or the last thing I'd like to leave with you, is you're not locked in to any one person. You are free to change your mind at any time, so trust your instincts, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you for joining me.